and gentlemen, it was a very hot day here at London Manfield, but still we did manage to get two contestants ready for this matchup today. It was Yup versus Nuqqet. At the time, Yup was the highest seed heading into things, being in 9th place, and Nuqqet around that 12 to 13 range, trying to break his way into that top 10. And well, this was an excellent start to try and get himself into that position. An opening goal here does put him one goal ahead within 10 seconds, and Yup, the Norwegian, does have to do some fighting back. This was a match which was originally on stream. You see at the top it does say Showmatch. We had quite a couple people watching this one. I mean, this is one of the highest rated EU matchups you can really get in RLduels standard, and it does promise to be a good matchup. I mean, already we are even, one apiece, as Yup will get a easy counter-attack goal here to get things going. So both players are warmed up, they are into things, they are getting used to this heat today as well. And once you get that first goal on the score sheet, you really start to pave the way open for much more to follow. Yup looking to do so mechanically, did pre-flip into that flip reset, but couldn't use it to get past Nuqqet, who has controlled the ball beautifully on top of his car. And well, when you want to talk about beauty, it's even better when followed by elegance. Look at this fake. Just send it Yup flying, and Nuqqet being able to strong-arm his way through that one. It was an American football play more than soccer here, but of course this is a European matchup, so maybe it was better to say rugby there. Yup and Nuqqet though, getting back into the swinging things off the kickoff. It is Nuqqet again, going for another mechanical play. Will fake this one low. And it's those low fakes which have thrown out Yup 2 times in a row now. You think that surely he's got to start seeing through them as this game goes on, especially if Nuqqet goes with these more often. Just before this, actually, Nuqqet did play a 1v1 against Velocity on that very same weekend on a charity stream, and that was a move which Nuqqet used very often to get that 4-2 victory. It was those flip resets and sneaking things under which he was able to use to get the better of his opponent, but Yup has really upped the stakes here with a beautiful, I believe it was a double flip reset to sneak his way past Nuqqet, definitely stealing the title of the most mechanical goal in this series so far. And ladies and gentlemen, look at the top of your screen, it's only been just over a minute now, and we've had 5 pretty high octane goals. Nuqqet though will stay on this one, try to force his way through Yup, but Yup was just about to get that little touch that he needed to break his way through, otherwise Nuqqet would have certainly been left struggling there. Yup lays that one up nicely, wants that flip reset yet again, will go under and uses Nuggget's own abilities against him. And it just says, whatever you can do, I can also do just as well to get myself back into the swing of things. Nuqqet forced to commit high there, just in case Yup did try to use that flip reset to force things through. And it's kind of a rock, paper, scissors matchup where you can get one decision right, but if your opponent decides to go for the exact other play, you've got really no shot at it. Nuqqet, though, back in control. That's a fantastic flick. It will come off the crossbar, but he does get the read. Yup left rooted inside his box. He knew he wasn't going to be able to catch this one, and you have to be so quick to get that second touch there. You have to try and predict that it will come off that crossbar, and in that instance it's so hard to have the reaction time to put yourself into that correct position. And by the second you've started thinking about it, Nuqqet was already up and past him, ready to beat him. It's just overall fantastic play there from the Englishman, and he does take the lead against the player who is the higher seed heading into this. Yup though will get that quick counter. Nuqqet definitely took his time on that play, wanted to play for some kind of delayed shot, wanted Yup to overcommit one way, and I also think Nuqqet wanted to have that ball a little bit tighter to him as well, so that he had more control when he could commit to that play. But once that first touch was that bit too heavy, it all of a sudden became a little bit more two-dimensional, and Yup knew that he could challenge that play with not much to follow afterwards there from Nuqqet, who on this play, however, does get that goal to bring them ahead, coming off the ceiling. That one's quite nice again, letting that ball go low, but it was really nice how he's managed to cut himself to Yup's backside just to make it that extra bit difficult, make him had to eliminate all his forward momentum and then swing it across on the other side at high speeds to try and stop that one, and he was never going to be able to pull that one off. It was just well calculated here from Nuqqet, who does win off the back of another kickoff. You see them both meet in the middle. He wants that bump on Nuqqet. That was a last resort play to prevent that 2-goal difference from occurring. But it does. And now Yup, the higher seed, has a lot to fight back on. He's relatively new to the 1v1 scene in comparison to Nuqqet. So overall, I'd say no. But if we're looking at these two players individually, Nuqqet is definitely the more experienced one. That being said, Yup has found so much success despite the less time he's been in the scene, especially recently. He's had quite a bit of a streak going on for him. I won't say how long that streak was, because I do implore you to go on the RLduels website and have an idea for yourself. But any streaks looking under threat right now, as Nuqqet does put himself 3-goal ahead from the halfway line. Just ball heavy off the corner. He knows he's going to get there first, and he'll commit straight to it. Nuqqet, so good at smelling blood in the water, where there's just a slight problem, a slight bit too far away from the ball there, his opponent. He knows he'll be able to just pounce on it every single time, and he will 99 times out of 100 be able to secure those open nets as well, just like his opponent's done right here. It's off the counter, and it was Nuqqet trying to commit to a play that was bouncing off Yup's back wall. But Yup just about getting there first, being able to take it around, and like I said before, being able to take that open net as well to follow. Now we are back to a 2-goal difference. It's been a very high scoring affair. We are on 12 goals total. This is a double-digit scoreline, and it's been fairly equal as these kind of scorelines go. And Yup looking to cement that, bringing himself only within 1 goal of the Englishman. It was just another strong 50-50 pretty soon after the kickoff as well, albeit there was a little bit of time for regular Rocket League before Yup got the dominant play and was able to get that goal. Now we are reset to this kickoff. It seemed neutral initially, but Nuqqet was able to weasel his way through and take that mid-right boost. He's coming off the ceiling. Will he go low? Will he commit to it? He does this time, but it doesn't quite find the target. However, he had a new target to strike at. It was Yup's car himself. He's opened up the space, and he's gotten himself his 8th. And now Yup back to that 2-goal difference, but with much less time to fight for it back. Although 1 minute 39, it feels like 20 seconds has been plenty of time to score 2, maybe even 3 in this matchup. It's been high scoring, it's been highly entertaining, and sometimes when you do get 2 players that are pretty high ranked in a playlist, sometimes you get a bit of a defensive battle. It's not very high scoring, it's very tactical. It is like a mini game of chess, and 1 goal is so valuable. But in this matchup, they're both just so attacking that instead of a game where, you know, we're going to see 1-0s, 2-1s, you know, the typical maybe like 3v3 scorelines. No, this is a high octane 1v1. And now at a total, we do have ourselves 15 goals, almost equally split down the middle here, as much as you can do with an odd number of them. And Nuqqet may not get the goal, but he does get the demo afterwards. And of course, does have a lead right now to maintain. We will watch him here off the kickoff. He's going to have to abandon that mid boost and allow Yup to have that extra bit of space. But look how early he has charged into that one. Doesn't give Yup the time of day to try and control that ball off the corner. And now he's taking possession all for himself, albeit it's looking a bit shaky here on the wall. Yup has managed to get things through. And Nuqqet, oh, not the best play. Not the best play. Look, even gods do bleed. Yup did do well for that initial 50, but I think Nuqqet had a little bit more time than he originally thought he did. And he has put it in the back of his own net. And now his lead reduced to none. And Yup has been given the biggest opportunity since, well, the beginning of this game. Because Nuqqet, for the most part, has been able to maintain his lead. Or at least being a 1-goal, 2-goal, sometimes even a 3-goal difference. He does get a flip reset here. He will try to sneak it through Yup, but Yup does get that save on the goal line. He does stay alive just as that clock hits 30 seconds remaining. It's good control on the ball. Flip reset to follow. Nuggets found his way round. And now this is a dangerous counter-attack in the dying seconds where surely the next goal is the winner. Nuggets flick doesn't quite land. And again, it's Yup who does contest for that back boost. He does pick it up. Nugget doesn't have the time to pick any up for himself. He finds that moment just after getting the save. We do have 2 seconds left on the clock. The floor is heating up. It's made of lava, but it's going towards the blue net. And Nugget doesn't find a way through, and instead we do go to overtime. 16 goals so far in this game, but the 17th will be the decider. It's Nugget in his own half. That ball just about hanging over Yup, but he doesn't have full control of it yet. He does pick up that mid boost. He does go high. Nugget with the back boost saves it just with the back of his car. And now again, big chases on the counter-attack, but Yup has been able to do well for it. Big bump coming out from Nugget. Shot on target. Top corner. Save there coming from Yup. And he manages to keep it out just for a few seconds extra. Both opponents even. Not a lick of boost so far until Nugget actually contested for Yup's corner. And that did lead to an opening where Yup, if he was able to generate a bit more power and was a bit more accurate, could have got the winner there. Instead, he's given the ball away to Nugget, who's gone back to earlier plays, snuck it under Yup. He's gotten his 9th, and most importantly, he's got the winner here in game number 1. Game 2, and Nugget was the lower seed heading into this, but it was not by a lot. I believe by MMR it was about a 20 or 30 difference between these two players, and albeit they have been really active recently, so of course there is a lot of variance with the MMRs they settled into as this game did kick off. And Nugget did take his lead in that first game by overtime, and he's looking to start things off again just like he did in that first game. So if game 1 was any pattern to try and follow, this is a good sign here for Nugget. If they continue trading goals just like they were before, Yup isn't going to see himself ahead on the score sheet very often. I mean, I don't think we saw it actually at all in that game beforehand. It did manage to reduce itself back down to 0, other than, of course, the initial 0-0 scoreline you start with. But even still, it would always be Nugget who was there to break the deadlock and maintain that lead and defend it. And defend it, he did pretty well on, actually. There was a few saves that were required from some dangerous positions, and you know, he put himself in nice ways where when he does have these 2 goal differences, he does give himself that bit of insurance, just like he's done actually in this second game right now, and he's finished that shot with quite a bit of flair against Yup. That's just the confidence he's got right now heading into this game. And it does mean a lot when you can come off that first game with such confidence, despite it being such a close affair. I can imagine, though, compared to most scorelines, like I said, that do end like that, with the 17 goals ending 9-8, you can take solace that he was never behind. And Yup, I think it would have been a frustrating one for him, about a 6 minutes of in-game time kind of game, albeit plenty of time to watch goals and take kickoffs as well. He's going to spend even more time watching goals and replays here, as Nugget does take his 3rd. Did go for the flip reset. I'm not quite sure if he actually got his flip. Definitely had Yup fooled, however, who did try to pre-jump that one, anticipating that that flip, whether Nugget had it or not, would be used. 3-0 at quite an early stage in the game, and Yup not having that goal to show yet does make things a little bit worrying for the Norwegian. Yup. We'll bounce this one off the wall. Nugget did have more of a boost until that one actually spawned right on Yup, just as he was about to leave it. This corner, stolen by Nugget. Yup taps it over, and it's a moment right now where both players just trying to find that opening, just trying to get that crucial 50-50 that will bring them ahead and in an advantageous position. Nugget thinks he has it now. He's got the flip reset. He's got the bump as well. And that is a beautiful way to bring yourself to 4. That flip reset, which he just catches as the ball is falling. That's harder than it looks there. And you know that when the ball is falling that heavy, it's hard to flick into it and try to get it to rise back up again. So he's committed low instead and gone for the bump. That's a crucial understanding of the mechanics of the game. And to him, I bet he's not even thinking about it. It's just muscle memory to this experienced player who, off the kickoff, by the way, has just made it 5. Uses his empty jump well to get himself closer to the floor, just so he had that little bit of extra time to center himself how he'd like to pull that power shot off. Yup. Completely unable to stop it, and now 3 minutes remain, 2 passed, and 5 goals for Nuqqet, and 0 for the higher seed heading into this. And sometimes this can just happen. You can just have games like this, and it'll be interesting to see how he fights back. He does start off here with a strong 50-50. He should get his first, absolutely. There's no turning around that one, and now this is where you want to try and start building a bit of momentum for yourself. Even if you can't win this game, you want something to head into game 3 with. It's another kickoff. Another opportunity for Yup to try and get one back, and he does actually get that one into the half of Nuqqet, although Nuqqet was able to go back and defend this one. Yup stayed close to that ball despite the low boost and picked his moment to bail away from it. Gets quite close to Nuqqet here, and Nuqqet thinks he can use that opportunity to skip over the blue-sided player. But it doesn't work this time, and Yup, it's just quite not the good decision here to go for that corner boost. He's allowed Nuqqet a lot of space to just tuck that one away in the left and leave him for dead. Now it is 6-1, and it is, well, just like I say there actually, the Brazil scoreline does enter the screen. This was a match in Europe, but Nuqqet taking everyone on a trip to South America. 2 minutes, 10 seconds, 7 goals for Nuqqet, 1 for Yup, a 6-goal difference. It is not a nice one to watch if you are a Yup fan, especially if Nuggets able to make it 8 there. He isn't, because that's a fantastic save from Yup. He does get the second as well. Will he be able to stop the third? Not quite, but still. A good showing there defensively. He was, well, I believe empty for both of those saves. Yeah, he was for the second one at the very least there, we see on the replay. But it was just too difficult to not only just keep the ball out of the net, but also to push it into those corners or into some form of safety, if that is even deep down the pitch. But you just don't have the boost count to be able to do so. And it's one of those positions where it feels like you can't really do anything. But, oh, hold on a minute. That was a fantastic attempt at a shot there from Nuqqet, which didn't quite find the back of the net. Neither did that one, bouncing off the crossbar. But as I was saying earlier for Yup, he was in one of those positions where it felt like there was nothing he could do, and really the only real strategy was to not be in that position in the first place, which of course is easier said than done, and just proves how much an earlier decision can impact those in the future. And as soon as you're in a lost place against Nuqqet, he will find a way to punish. Nuqqet, ball on top of his car, does keep this one close, does get the demo as well. He might try and be looking for a 9th here. Yep, Yup only just about spawns just before that ball finds the back of the net. And it is 9-1. It is a double-digit scoreline if you do share both of these players' goals into one pot. However, Nuqqet has, well, 70 seconds to have that for himself without the help of Yup. And again, it would be a devastating one for the player in the top 10. Nuqqet, however, good wave dashes coming off the wall here. It's a beautiful recovery. Yup's gone out wide. I think he'd already accepted defeat on this play. Yeah, it does really look like it. He tried to flip back, but I think he knew in his heart of hearts it would take basically a Nuqqet miss and completely unforced error to bring himself back into that play. And, well, we know the class that Nuqqet exhibits. He wasn't going to let that one happen. Albeit, Yup, we'll get a second here with 44 seconds left, and at this point, these are just goals to try and take into the third game, because it is almost definite now that Nuqqet will put himself onto a match point situation, and one in the fashion of a potential sweep. However, Yup, winning another kickoff here, does get himself his third, and like I said, just a little bit of a confidence booster for that next game. 39 seconds left, and I think both players would be kind of happy to let this one be over. Nuqqet, though, unrelenting, will look for his 11th. Flip reset gained, will go low, as he's previously shown before, not only in this game, but the first one as well. Yup Oh, that one's got to be a tilter. He definitely had the space to put that one behind, but ends up bringing that ball across goal instead. And you can hear those jumps behind him of Nuqqet as he chain dashes on the wall closer to the ball. Yup trying to get the goal. That one flicks on the crossbar, and again... moment of frustration for Yup. I think he can take solace in knowing he was not going to come back this game regardless, but... Ooh. And the 11th goal from Nuqqet won't help either. But this is just going to have to be a regain moment. These are top plays in the 1v1 scene. 1v1 can be stressful. It is one of the most mentally demanding and taxing, I'm pretty sure most players would say. But once you get to this level of play, you do have players that are very used to it. Third game begins. An opportunity for Nuqqet to sweep Yup, who was a top 10 player heading into this using RLduels statistics, which you can of course check on the website. And he scored the first goal of every single game within seconds. He's done it again in this third one, and well, we know how those first two games have ended. And now Yup is again put in that chasing situation which he's been in, I want to say, for the whole series now. I can't say with confidence he's ever been ahead, but he does get a goal here to put himself back to equal and get himself a little bit closer to being put into that position for the first time. It's actually a fantastic flick there. I love the way that he delayed it. Just kept Nuqqet guessing, and he flicked it with the back of his car as well, in a way which was a little bit harder to read. That is a delayed kickoff there from Yup. It does, unfortunately, give the ball in possession here to Nuqqet, who will try to dribble this one away, and of course he does. Forced his way through. Both players did have 100 boost, but Yup was coming in at that wider angle, and when Nuggets face onto the goal with plenty of speed already behind it, it's a difficult one there for the defender to stop. And again, Nuqqet does find himself in the lead, and as it stands, on his way to a sweep. But this is very early doors, and every game so far has been very high scoring, albeit the first one shared a lot more evenly than the second. And it will be interesting to see how this third game can unfold as well. Yup does get that demo, he does get that goal, and he's keeping this game close, which is going to be important. I think once you find yourself in those 2-goal differences and risk even falling into those 3-goal differences, it's a pit which is extremely difficult to climb your way out of. So keeping him back to equal, I think, was crucial for how this game goes, and his potentials, of course, of trying to pull off a reverse sweep, which is the long-term aim, even if the short-term is just this game alone. And I think we're going to see it here. Yup gaining the lead for the first time, and you can see it in chat there. Seems like Yup was able to keep his mental game in check. I would have to agree. Of course, that is the RLduels admin, very knowledgeable in 1v1s, created this amazing website, this amazing YouTube channel, this Twitch stream as well, of which this match was originally streamed on. So be sure to follow the Twitter, the Twitch, the YouTube, of course, which you would be watching this on, because high-level 1v1s are going to be aplenty here. You're going to see players like Yup and Nuqqet play quite a lot as well. They're very active and have proudly represented themselves as part of the RLduels community as well, with this being featured on a stream. But anyway, back into this game individually. Like I said, the game score advantage does fall to Nuqqet, who's on his way for a sweep. But in this game alone, it is Yup that currently has the lead. Nuqqet looking to close that down with this attack. That's a good flick. It's forced Yup into the back of his own net to make that first save. But he's done well to bring himself back up for that second touch as well. Slight bounce dribbles going on here. Doesn't commit to the second one. Lets that one roll on the ground a bit. Does try to sneak it under Nuqqet, who puts himself in that prime position where he covers both low and high angles at that distance. That bump as well is just dirty. He's got such a good reading of the game. Like I said before, he does get his third, and we are back to equal. Yup again having to fight to put himself back in the lead, or face positions he's seen all too commonly when Nuqqet is able to turn these drawn positions into one favourable for himself. That flip reset, not quite being able to pull it off, but Yup Doesn't get the touch here, and Nuqqet, does he have that one on target? It looks tight! And maybe if he didn't mess up his dashes, he could have kept up with that one. If he just kept it simple, I think he would have had his fourth. Yup does get the save. Nuqqet still, however, had his attack and forcing another one out of Yup. Yup now. Ball high. Flip reset. Does get the musty flick as well. A brilliant one to bring himself ahead when he had to fight in defense, get away with murder as Nuqqet messed up his play for himself. Yup steps up, and as soon as he has space, he uses it efficiently. And oh, I was worried there after working so hard for that goal, he was going to concede straight off the kickoff. He doesn't. Play does stay alive. This lead does remain for Yup. It might get doubled as well. Nuqqet able to get that ball off the post and out of danger. And, well, we both saw it there. Yup did find himself swinging a bit wide on this play. Went for that outer turn instead of the inner turn. And that allowed Nuqqet too much space to flick it over. And we are back to equal. Unfazed by the play he had to respond to. Back to equal. 4 goals apiece. Might go to 5 for Nuqqet. And he does regain his lead. He does, as it stands, have a sweep. And Yup, back into familiar territory. He's looking to break his curse yet again. He's done it a few times so far this game. It's not about how you start. It is, unfortunately, about how this result finishes when that clock hits 0 seconds. Or, of course, if we do see an overtime. Yup swings this one across. Nuqqet will commit for this one early to get that pinch high. Does leave that ball bouncing awkwardly for Yup on the backboard. Bumps coming out as well to try him and force him off the player. At least delay some time for himself. But that's a fantastic flick there coming from Yup. Plenty of power behind it. 135 kph actually being the final count. I believe Nuqqet may have gotten a touch to this one anyway to give it a little bit of a boost. He does. He'll take that one regardless. Unstoppable flick there coming from Yup. And it is 10 goals total. Another very high scoring game, but one more in the fashion of game 1 than game 2, where Yup really has been fighting, and it's been fantastic to see how unfazed he's been from that game 2 performance. And not just a performance of his own, but Nuqqet's performance as well, where he did look so powerful, so difficult to stop, and many plays in that position allow their opponents to get that bit of momentum by just not shifting themselves back up a gear and letting the other team run away with it. You don't see that from Yup. He's a high level player. He does stay committed, but he's gonna have to defend this one. And it's a flick to return the flick Yup gave him earlier. This one sneaking to the roof of the net, just under that crossbar and out the reach of the blue defender. The Norwegian, 1 goal difference with only 55 seconds to try and grab this one back. And it's now not only the game on the line, but the series as a whole. Nuqqet getting that second goal, 48 seconds remain. And again, it's looking more and more dangerous for Yup. If I was a betting man, I'd say this is game over. This is Nuqqet with the sweeping victory. But you cannot count people out in 1v1s. It can change so fast. If Yup was able to get him goal and a kickoff to follow, that's it, back to equal. But that's not what we see here. Instead, it's just Nuqqet extending his lead after a favourable kickoff of his own. He was able to just about poke that one over Yup. And that could be the nail in the coffin. If Yup is able to make a comeback, that goal has to happen soon, I would argue, in the next 10-15 seconds, and then you'd have to have a kickoff or two go in your favour as well to match. But it is going to be a tough one to bite away from. It has been such a close game for a majority of it, and the widest scoreline we've seen so far had to happen at that later stages, which has made it even more difficult to fight back from. Yup with the flip reset. Yup with the shot off as well. It is that 2 goal difference. It's going to be difficult. Cold as ice. He does have us on his title. But is 16 seconds enough? Is this ice cube slowly melting? Has Nuqqet found the better of the Norwegian? Yup, shot. Is that on target? It was! The Nuqqet's save may have secured him the series, and if it hadn't already, that flick certainly did. 9 goals to 6. That is the match over. Nuqqet will take this victory. GG's in chat. Yup leaving the game.